Jake sat alone in the dark room of the Nevada listening station. The monitors glowed faintly, casting shadows across his face. The faint sound of static filled the air. He had been scanning signals all night, searching for something unusual. But nothing had ever prepared him for what he heard now. A repeating pattern in the signals stood out. It was not random noise. It was a distress call from a distant colony. Someone was asking for help. They were in danger. Jake leaned forward, eyes wide. He could barely believe it. The message was urgent, pleading for immediate assistance. He typed the coordinates into the main console and sent a direct alert to the military command. Within minutes, General Claire Hart entered the room. She was tall and commanding, with short brown hair and eyes that seemed to see everything. Jake quickly explained what he had found. Claire listened without interruption, her expression serious. "This is bigger than anything we have dealt with," she said. "We need to act fast." The room filled with military officers and scientists within the hour. Claire stood at the front, pointing to a large display showing the distant colony. The team quickly learned that the colony had encountered a massive hostile fleet. The creatures or forces behind it were unknown, but they had already destroyed several outposts. The humans on the colony had sent an SOS before their systems began to fail. Captain Lisa Carter, a skilled pilot, was called to give her assessment. She leaned over the display, studying the images. "If we want to reach them in time, we need to prepare the fleet immediately. We cannot wait for backup or negotiations. Our ships have to move fast," she said. Engineer Ben Foster, standing nearby, added details about the ships. "We have new energy weapons ready for testing. They can take down multiple enemy ships if deployed correctly. We just need time to prepare." Claire nodded. Time was a luxury they did not have. The decision was made. Humans would deploy an epic fleet to reach the colony and stop the threat. In the following hours, the fleet was mobilized. Massive battleships rose from Earth's orbit, their engines glowing with immense power. Fighter jets lined the hangars, each pilot checking weapons and shields. Lisa Carter led her squad through simulations, preparing for enemy encounters. Ben Foster ran final diagnostics on energy cannons, making sure they were at peak performance. Lieutenant Emily Grant reviewed enemy data gathered from Jake's intercepted signals, trying to predict the enemy strategy. Jake stayed at the Nevada station, monitoring all communications. He felt a mixture of fear and pride. This was the moment humans would show their strength. Civilians across the world watched the deployment on large screens. Families waved and cheered as the massive ships lifted into space. Children pressed their faces against windows, imagining the heroes aboard those ships. As the fleet left orbit, Jake received a personal message from General Claire. "Stay focused and ready. We need your skills more than ever." Jake nodded, his fingers already flying across the keyboard, tracking the fleet's progress and analyzing incoming signals. Every second counted. The journey to the distant colony was tense. Every crew member knew the risks. The unknown threat could be waiting for them anywhere in the galaxy. Lisa Carter piloted her fighter with skill, leading her team through asteroid fields and debris to avoid detection. Ben Foster monitored the energy systems, making real-time adjustments to ensure maximum efficiency. Emily Grant calculated the enemy's possible maneuvers and shared strategies with the fleet command. Night fell over parts of Earth, but in orbit, the fleet moved steadily through the darkness of space. The stars stretched endlessly around them, a constant reminder of how small and fragile humans could be. Yet, even in the face of fear, they pressed on. The colony's SOS was their mission, and nothing would stop them. As the fleet neared the coordinates of the distress signal, the first faint shapes of enemy ships appeared on the scanners. The humans prepared for battle, hearts steady, minds focused, and spirits determined. The epic journey had begun, and nothing would be the same after this night. Humans were ready to face the unknown with courage, unity, and skill. And the galaxy was about to witness the power of Earth's fleet. The fleet moved steadily through the dark expanse of space, engines humming with power. Captain Lisa Carter stood on the bridge of her fighter, eyes fixed on the scanner. Every crew member was alert. The humans were facing an enemy they did not fully understand. They knew they had to rely on their skills and training to survive. Commander Ryan Cole, in charge of the fleet, coordinated every movement from the main battleship. He issued clear commands, making sure each ship stayed in position. The fighters formed defensive lines ready to intercept any attacks. The battleships prepared their energy weapons, each shot calibrated for maximum effect. Engineer Ben Foster worked tirelessly in the weapons bay, adjusting energy cannons and testing the shields. He double-checked every system, knowing that a single failure could cost lives. Beside him, technician Lucas Reed ran simulations, making sure the energy pulse could disable multiple enemy ships at once. Lieutenant Emily Grant analyzed enemy data and shared her predictions with the fleet. She noticed patterns in the enemy movement and suggested new formations for the fighters. Her ideas were sharp and precise, giving the humans a small advantage in the coming battles. The atmosphere inside the fleet was tense but focused. Pilots ran through drills, practicing maneuvers to avoid enemy fire. Crew members checked every weapon and shield, preparing for the unknown. Every person knew their role and executed it without hesitation. Far below on Earth, Queen Elizabeth Barker watched the fleet through live transmissions. Her voice was steady as she addressed the crews. "Remember why you fight. Remember your people in the colony waiting for our help. Do not falter." She emphasized strategy and courage, inspiring every soldier and pilot. The humans had faced many challenges before, but nothing of this scale. The first signs of the enemy appeared on the scanners. Small ships moved quickly, testing the human fleet. Lisa Carter led her squad in interception drills, weaving between asteroids to avoid detection. Her team followed precisely, every movement coordinated. The humans were ready for the first strike. Suddenly, an enemy ship fired on a human scout. The fleet responded immediately. Energy beams lit up space as the humans retaliated. Ben Foster activated the new energy pulse, and several enemy ships shut down for a moment. It was a small victory, but enough to boost morale. Jake, monitoring communications from Nevada, noticed the enemy adapting quickly. He sent alerts to the fleet, giving them time to adjust. Every second counted. The humans were fighting with brains and skill, not just weapons. Amid the battle, Captain Lisa led a daring maneuver. Her fighters zipped between enemy ships, disabling a key cruiser. The other pilots followed, turning the tide of the skirmish. Emily Grant's strategies guided the fleet, making their attacks more effective. Humans were proving that teamwork and courage could overcome even a superior enemy. The enemy regrouped, showing signs of intelligence and coordination. The humans realized this was only the beginning. They prepared for a long fight ahead. Commander Ryan called all ships to new positions, forming a stronger defensive line. The fleet moved like a single entity. Every pilot and crew member connected through training and trust. During the lull, Ben Foster checked weapon integrity, making small improvements that would give humans an edge in future battles. Lisa Carter spoke with her team, giving them confidence and reminding them of their mission. They were not just fighting for themselves, but for the colony and all of Earth. The humans had learned something important. The enemy respected skill and courage. Every successful attack, every clever maneuver gave the humans more control of the battlefield. The fleet pushed forward, gaining ground and experience with each encounter. As the day ended, the humans held their positions firmly. They had proven they could face the unknown and adapt quickly. The fleet prepared for the next stage, knowing the real battles were yet to come. They were not just defending a distant colony. They were showing the galaxy the strength, unity, and intelligence of humans. The epic journey of courage and strategy continued, and the humans were ready for everything that lay ahead. The fleet approached the distant sector where the distress signal originated. Captain Lisa Carter scanned the area from her fighter, noticing strange formations of enemy ships. The humans had not seen anything like this before. Each enemy ship moved with precision, but the humans could adapt. They had intelligence, training, and courage. Commander Ryan Cole issued orders to spread the fleet into defensive formations. Fighter squadrons moved to intercept, while battleships prepared energy cannons. Lieutenant Emily Grant analyzed the enemy patterns and suggested targeting the flanks first. This plan would allow humans to strike effectively while keeping their main ships safe. Engineer Ben Foster monitored energy levels and recalibrated weapon systems for maximum impact. He worked with Lucas Reed to ensure that every shot would hit its mark. The humans knew the enemy fleet was strong, but their precision and teamwork could overcome it. Jake, back on Nevada, tracked the enemy movements and sent real-time updates to the fleet. He discovered a weakness in their formation, and highlighted it to Emily Grant. She adjusted the human strategy immediately. The humans began their first coordinated attack. Captain Lisa led a squadron through a risky maneuver. They flew between enemy ships, dodging fire and disabling key systems. Each pilot knew their role and executed it perfectly. Energy beams lit up the darkness of space, showing the humans' power and skill. Some enemy ships tried to counterattack. Their movements were fast and aggressive. Lisa's squad engaged them directly, protecting the main fleet. The humans were not reckless. Every move was calculated, balancing courage with strategy. The enemy could not anticipate the humans' adaptability. On the battleships, Commander Ryan coordinated with Queen Elizabeth Barker through secure communication channels. The Queen's calm voice guided the fleet. She reminded them that unity and intelligence were their strongest weapons. The humans relied on her leadership, drawing strength from her presence. During the battle, Ben Foster activated a new energy pulse. It sent waves through the enemy fleet, temporarily disabling several ships. This allowed the human fighters to strike at weak points and gain control of the battlefield. The humans celebrated small victories, but stayed focused on the larger mission. Emily Grant directed the fleet with precise calculations. She predicted enemy moves and countered them with human skill. Every successful maneuver proved that intelligence and teamwork were more powerful than raw strength alone. The humans were learning quickly, adapting to every challenge. Amid the chaos, Jake identified the command ship of the enemy fleet. He sent data to Captain Lisa, who led a daring attack. Her fighter flew directly at the command ship, dodging beams and missiles. She released a targeted strike that disabled the ship temporarily. The other human pilots followed, pressing the advantage and creating openings in the enemy lines. The first contact had proven humans could fight with courage and strategy. They had taken control of key areas and shown the enemy that humans were not easy to defeat. The fleet regrouped after the engagement, preparing for the next phase. Every crew member knew that this was only the beginning, but their confidence had grown. Queen Elizabeth Barker addressed the fleet, praising their courage and precision. She reminded them that the colony depended on them, and that every human had the power to make a difference. The humans felt stronger, more united, and ready to face whatever came next. The fleet moved forward cautiously, scanning for more enemy forces. They were prepared to strike again if necessary. Each fighter, battleship, and crew member was alert, knowing the risks. Humans had faced fear and uncertainty and had proven they could overcome it. As the fleet advanced, Captain Lisa looked at her team. Every pilot was ready, every strategy in place. The humans had shown that with intelligence, courage, and unity, they could face even the strongest enemy. The epic struggle had begun, and the humans were ready to fight for the colony and for the honor of Earth. Queen Elizabeth Barker observed the battlefield from Earth. Her eyes scanned the live transmission of the human fleet. She remained calm, but her mind worked fast, calculating strategies and sending precise orders. Humans depended on her leadership, and she would not fail them. She spoke to the commanders, her voice steady. "Keep your focus. Every decision matters. The colony is counting on us." Commander Ryan Cole relayed the Queen's orders to the fleet. Fighter squadrons adjusted their positions, keeping a defensive perimeter around the main battleships. Energy cannons charged, ready to fire at any approaching enemy. Every crew member knew their role and performed it without hesitation. Captain Lisa Carter led her squadron through the dark expanse of space, scanning for enemy movement. The enemy had regrouped after previous attacks and seemed stronger. They tested human formations with fast strikes. Lisa countered with skill, guiding her pilots to intercept without exposing the main fleet. Human strategy and coordination became the key advantage. Engineer Ben Foster worked in the weapons bay, monitoring energy levels and adjusting cannons for maximum efficiency. He coordinated with technician Lucas Reed to ensure shields remained at full strength. Small mistakes could be deadly, but Ben remained focused. His work gave the fleet the power to strike back with precision. Lieutenant Emily Grant studied enemy patterns and sent instructions to the pilots. She noticed subtle weaknesses in the enemy fleet's formation. By targeting these points, humans could weaken the enemy without risking the main ships. The humans had learned quickly, adapting with intelligence and courage. The first wave of enemy attacks arrived. Fast ships moved like shadows, striking at the flanks. Lisa's squadron met them head-on. Energy beams clashed, explosions lit the darkness, and human pilots maneuvered with skill. Ben activated the energy pulse, disabling several enemy ships for crucial seconds. Humans pressed the advantage, taking control of key positions. Amid the chaos, Queen Elizabeth spoke to the fleet directly through secure communication. She reminded every soldier and pilot that unity was their greatest weapon. Do not fear. Fight with courage and intelligence. Her words inspired the humans, giving them strength to push forward. The humans discovered that the enemy had hidden support ships. Emily adjusted the strategy, directing fighters to intercept and prevent flanking attacks. Captain Lisa led a daring maneuver, weaving through enemy fire to strike a support ship directly. Her squadron followed, disabling it and creating an opening for the main fleet. Commander Ryan coordinated the battleships to fire on weakened enemy lines. Energy beams tore through the darkness, hitting enemy vessels with precision. The humans combined bravery with strategy, turning the tide of the battle. Every crew member understood that teamwork and skill were as important as firepower. During the battle, small teams of humans carried out sabotage missions, disabling enemy systems and gathering intelligence. Jake sent live updates from Nevada, allowing the fleet to anticipate enemy moves. Every piece of information increased human control of the battlefield. The humans realized that fear would not win this war. Every successful strike, every clever maneuver, reinforced their confidence. The enemy fleet began to retreat in disorder, showing signs of panic. The humans had turned defense into offense, proving that courage, intelligence, and unity could overcome strength in numbers. As the battle continued, Queen Elizabeth guided the humans to secure strategic positions. She inspired her people with words of hope and determination. The humans knew that victory required focus, sacrifice, and bravery. Every fighter and battleship worked together, moving like a single organism. After hours of intense fighting, the humans held the battlefield firmly. The enemy retreated but remained dangerous. The humans knew the fight was far from over, but their confidence had grown. They had learned the value of leadership, strategy, and courage. Captain Lisa looked at her pilots. Every one of them had performed with skill and bravery. The humans had proven that with unity, intelligence, and courage, they could face any threat. Queen Elizabeth Barker's guidance and the humans' determination had turned the battle into a display of human strength and skill. The fleet was ready for the next challenge, and the humans were determined to protect the colony and Earth from any danger. The humans continued to advance through space, cautious but determined. Captain Lisa Carter led her fighter squadron ahead, scanning for hidden enemy ships. The enemy had tried to lure the humans into traps, but the fleet remained alert. Every pilot and crew member knew that any mistake could be deadly. Lieutenant Emily Grant studied the enemy patterns and noticed a hidden formation of ships that could strike at the fleet's rear. She quickly informed Commander Ryan Cole, who adjusted the fleet's movements. Defensive lines shifted and fighters moved to intercept. Humans relied on intelligence and strategy, not just strength. Engineer Ben Foster monitored weapons and shields, making quick adjustments as the fleet maneuvered. He noticed the enemy's shields were weaker in specific areas. By targeting these points, humans could break through without taking heavy losses. Ben relayed this information to the pilots, and Captain Lisa adapted their attack route accordingly. Jake tracked communications from Nevada, providing constant updates. He discovered a pattern in the enemy's coordination and sent the data to Emily. Using this information, she designed a new plan to outmaneuver the enemy fleet. Humans were proving that brains and courage could overcome sheer numbers. The first wave of the trap approached. Enemy ships moved quickly, trying to surround human fighters. Lisa led her squadron in a risky maneuver, dodging fire and striking at key vessels. Every pilot executed the plan perfectly. The humans disabled several enemy ships and forced the others to retreat. The main fleet prepared to follow up. Commander Ryan ordered the battleships to concentrate fire on the weakened enemy lines. Energy beams cut through the darkness, hitting enemy vessels with precision. Human coordination turned the tide of the battle. Every crew member understood the importance of timing and strategy. Amid the fight, small teams of humans carried out sabotage missions on enemy ships. They disabled weapon systems and disrupted communication, giving the main fleet an advantage. Lisa and her squadron provided cover, ensuring the teams could operate safely. The humans showed that teamwork and courage were their greatest weapons. Queen Elizabeth Barker monitored the battle from Earth, sending guidance and encouragement to the fleet. She reminded them of their mission and the lives depending on them. Humans responded with focus and determination. They knew the colony could not survive without their protection. During the engagement, Ben Foster activated a new energy pulse. It disabled a group of enemy ships, allowing human fighters to strike at the command vessels. Lisa led her squadron through enemy lines, dodging fire and delivering critical damage. The enemy fleet began to lose cohesion, showing signs of panic. Emily Grant calculated the next moves, guiding the fleet through coordinated attacks. Humans adapted quickly, countering every enemy maneuver. Their intelligence and bravery were unmatched. The enemy could not predict human strategy, and every mistake by the enemy became an opportunity for the humans. Amid the chaos, Captain Lisa carried out a daring attack on the enemy rear formation. Her squadron followed precisely, targeting vulnerable points and disabling ships. The main fleet pressed forward, taking control of the battlefield. Humans were proving that courage and skill could overcome even the most organized enemy. Jake observed every movement, sending updates and advice. The humans used every advantage, adapting to changing circumstances. The enemy tried to regroup, but human strategy and coordination kept them on the defensive. The battle ended with the enemy retreating, their formation broken. Humans had won this stage, but they remained cautious. Every crew member knew that new challenges awaited. Fleet held its position, ready for the next engagement. Humans had shown that intelligence, unity, and courage could overcome even the strongest adversaries. Captain Lisa looked at her team. Every pilot and crew member had performed with skill and bravery. The humans had survived the enemy trap, learned valuable lessons, and strengthened their resolve. They were ready for the battles ahead, determined to protect the colony and Earth with every ounce of their strength. The humans regrouped after the last battle, holding their positions in space. Commander Ryan Cole assessed the fleet and prepared for the next engagement. The enemy fleet was still a threat, but humans had learned to fight with strategy and unity. Every ship, every fighter, and every crew member had a role to play. Queen Elizabeth Barker continued to provide guidance from Earth. She sent clear orders and reminders. Focus on weaknesses and move together. Protect the fleet and the colony. Her leadership inspired confidence and determination among the humans. They felt that their courage and skill could make a difference. Engineer Ben Foster activated a new weapon on the battleships. It was a concentrated energy beam capable of piercing the largest enemy vessels. He coordinated with Lucas Reed to monitor power levels and ensure the weapon fired without risk to the fleet. This weapon could change the outcome of the battle if used correctly. Captain Lisa Carter led her squadron into the fray. The enemy had regrouped and launched a coordinated attack. Fast ships moved from all directions, trying to catch human fighters off guard. Lisa maneuvered skillfully, guiding her pilots to intercept the attackers while protecting the main fleet. Humans relied on courage, skill, and precise timing. Lieutenant Emily Grant studied enemy movements and predicted their next strategy. She directed human ships to weak points in the enemy formation. Her calculations allowed humans to strike effectively and minimize damage to their own fleet. Intelligence and strategy were proving to be decisive factors in the conflict. Jake monitored communications from Nevada and tracked the enemy fleet. He noticed a pattern in their attacks and relayed the information to the commanders. Humans used every piece of data to plan their moves and gain advantage. Every second counted in the fast-paced battle. The enemy concentrated on the human rear, attempting to split the fleet. Lisa led a daring attack to disrupt their formation. Her squadron flew through enemy fire, targeting command ships and disabling critical systems. The humans executed the maneuver flawlessly, turning the enemy's strategy against them. Ben Foster fired the concentrated energy beam at a massive enemy cruiser. The ship was destroyed instantly, creating an opening for the human fleet to advance. Other battleships followed, striking weakened enemy lines. Humans combined precision and power to dominate the battlefield. Emily Grant continued to guide the fleet, adapting strategies as the battle evolved. She coordinated with Captain Lisa and Commander Ryan to maximize the effectiveness of attacks. Human intelligence allowed them to anticipate enemy moves and respond quickly, maintaining control over the engagement. Small human teams carried out sabotage missions on enemy support ships, further weakening their coordination. Lisa's squadron provided cover, ensuring the teams could operate safely. Humans were not just relying on strength, but using every tool, every skill, and every strategy at their disposal. The enemy fleet began to show signs of disarray. Their attacks became uncoordinated, and their retreat started. Humans pressed forward, maintaining pressure and exploiting every weakness. Courage, skill, and unity had turned the battle in their favor. Captain Lisa and her pilots maneuvered through enemy lines, targeting remaining command ships. Every successful strike further reduced the enemy's ability to regroup. The humans were relentless, proving that strategy and bravery could overcome even the most formidable forces. Queen Elizabeth Barker praised the humans for their determination and skill. She reminded them that the colony depended on them, and that every action mattered. The humans felt strengthened by her words, their resolve hardened by every challenge they faced. The battle reached its turning point. Humans had seized control of the battlefield, forcing the enemy to retreat in disorder. Every ship, fighter, and crew member had contributed to the victory. Humans had shown that courage, intelligence, and unity could overcome fear and danger. The fleet prepared for the final stage, ready to finish what they had started and protect the colony and Earth with unwavering strength. The humans chased the retreating enemy fleet through space. Captain Lisa Carter led her squadron, scanning for any remaining threats. The enemy was disorganized, but humans knew they could not underestimate them. Every crew member remained alert, ready for sudden attacks. Commander Ryan Cole directed the main fleet, keeping formation while pressing forward. Energy cannons were charged, and fighter squadrons moved strategically. The humans had learned from previous battles using both intelligence and skill to maintain advantage. Queen Elizabeth Barker watched from Earth, guiding the fleet through secure communication channels. She encouraged humans to act with courage and precision. Her leadership was a source of strength, inspiring every pilot and crew member to give their best. Engineer Ben Foster monitored energy levels and weapon systems. He made adjustments to maximize efficiency, ensuring that every attack had impact. Lucas Reed helped manage shields, protecting the fleet from unexpected enemy fire. Humans worked together, combining technology and skill. Lieutenant Emily Grant analyzed enemy movement and predicted their next steps. She directed fighters to vulnerable points, allowing humans to strike decisively. Every calculation and instruction increased the fleet's effectiveness. Humans had turned intelligence into a weapon more powerful than any energy beam. During the pursuit, Captain Lisa led a daring attack on the remaining enemy command ships. Her squadron flew through concentrated fire, dodging beams and missiles. Every pilot executed maneuvers flawlessly, striking the enemy at critical points and causing chaos within their ranks. Ben Foster fired the concentrated energy beam at the largest enemy vessel, breaking its defenses and destroying it instantly. Other battleships followed, eliminating weakened ships. The humans pressed forward with precision, leaving the enemy with no chance to recover. Small teams of humans carried out final sabotage missions on the remaining enemy support ships. They disabled weapons and disrupted communications, preventing regrouping. Lisa's squadron provided cover, ensuring the teams could operate safely. Every human played a role in the decisive victory. The enemy fleet, now in full retreat, could no longer mount an organized counterattack. Humans advanced steadily, showing skill, courage, and determination. Their unity and intelligence allowed them to control the battlefield completely. The humans were relentless, leaving no room for mistakes. Captain Lisa communicated with Commander Ryan and Lieutenant Emily to coordinate the final strikes. Energy beams and fighter attacks targeted remaining enemy vessels. Breaking their formation and forcing complete surrender, humans moved as one, combining strength, strategy, and precision. Jake monitored every movement from Nevada, sending updates to the fleet. His intelligence work ensured the humans were always a step ahead. Every calculation and warning contributed to the final outcome. Humans had used brains and bravery to outsmart the enemy. Queen Elizabeth Barker addressed the fleet, praising their courage and skill. She reminded them that they had saved the colony and proved the strength of humans. Every pilot, crew member, and technician had contributed to the victory. The humans had faced fear, uncertainty, and danger, and had overcome all obstacles. As the battle ended, humans held the field firmly. The enemy fleet was destroyed or in full retreat. The humans had protected the colony and demonstrated the power of unity, intelligence, and courage. They had proven that humans could face any threat and emerge victorious. Captain Lisa looked at her squadron. Every pilot had performed with skill and bravery. Commander Ryan observed the fleet, proud of their coordination and determination. Queen Elizabeth Barker's leadership had inspired humans to fight beyond fear. The humans had achieved victory through strategy, teamwork, and courage. The fleet prepared to return to the colony, ensuring safety and stability. The humans had proven their strength to the galaxy. They had shown that courage, intelligence, and unity could overcome any enemy. The epic struggle had ended with humans victorious, ready to protect their home and the lives of those who depended on them. The story of human bravery and skill would be remembered as a testament to what humans could achieve when united and determined.